My name is Marcel Rompelman. I've been one of the supervisors together with my colleagues Otwa, Johan and Ahmed. We've been supervising this 2-week event of which you will now see all the results. It's a competition, so we have participants over here, we have jury members over here, but everything will be explained. What is actually Wetskills? What is it about? By our managing director, Johan Oost.
Thank you, Marcel. Great, everyone. I'm very delighted that we are here for the 51st time. We are having a Wetskills finals, actually. And I want to explain a bit more about what Wetskills is. Fortunately, there are some new faces, so, well, this is still relevant. Because this is the 6th time that we are organizing this Wetskills during the Amsterdam International Water Week. Just about Wetskills. Wetskills is a foundation, a non-profit foundation based in The Hague. We have a team of about 36 supervisors, half in the Netherlands, half abroad. And together we are organizing so-called Future Water Leaders programs and our regular Wetskills Water Challenge. As said, this is the 35th event. We've been in quite some countries, 25 in total, and with more than 950 participants, we came up with more than 200 out-of-the-box ideas. Well, as said, during the Amsterdam International Water Week, we started in 2011, and every 2 years we had a Wetskills, like last one here 2 years ago. Unfortunately, we are here now. But what's Wetskills about? Einstein, I think you all know him, he said we cannot solve our problems with the same thinking when we created them. Actually, when you turn it around, is actually we need to go outside that box. Then we can solve the problems that we created. But going outside the box, that's not easy, as you can see here. It's dangerous, strange feeling. But going outside the box together is more easy. But what I also want to say is that when you go outside the box, it's always good to be in a diverse group with different ideas, different experience. And that's what we are also doing with Wetskills. Diversity leads to out of comfort, and out of comfort leads to out of box. What is the Wetskills method? Our cocktail is actually, we have the next generation, fresh ideas, so the participants. We have cases from the sector, case owners that are organizations, businesses, water authorities, non-profit organizations. They really want to have they want to go further with a challenge that they face, that they have. In this Wetskills we have 3 of them. We will explain later. Sometimes 6, but they really are eager to have an out-of-the-box idea to bring it further. The third one is more the academia, the local networks, the local professionals that are also helping. Shaking the Wetskills cocktail. In about 12 to 14 days, we put young professionals, students in mixed teams, and each team needs to come up with an out-of-the-box idea. And we put a lot of pressure on that, because pressure leads to polishing and nice ideas. That's of course, the 12 to 14 days, so it's not so long. But also the pressure is, we always have the finals at a formal water-related or sustainable-related event, such as the Amsterdam International Water Week Conference, but also exhibitions and special events like state visit or even the Olympics. So, and what are those outcomes then? Well, we try to energize talents to join the water sustainability sector. We try to integrate them, to have that intergenerational dialogue and capacitate to really help the sector further. That's one pillar. The other pillar is the co-creation. Nice ideas that can have follow-up. We have about 10 to 20% of our cases has a follow-up, and some are already really implemented. It's an ice-breaking event during a formal event, so nice ways for networking. And those networkings, we create a lot of networks between academia, between alumni, between academia and the sector. That is really still existing, and it creates a lot of positive communication for our sector. Well, looking at the long-term impact, well, we are now 11 years old, but and hopefully we will have a decade more. But looking at the Sustainable Development Goals, the core is water, but almost all ideas, all concepts has a link to other SDGs. The methodology is based on equality, on gender, and on respect. So the methodology is part of it, and we create new partnerships. Well, 2020-21 was a strange time for us, and 2019 we had 10 events worldwide. After that, a bit less, but we are really happy that we could organize online events, but also live events in Romania, Denmark, and the Netherlands this year. And this is for the pipeline 21 and 22. Well, the bit larger flags are a bit more concrete than the others, but hopefully we can do more in-person events again. So, once again, it's a challenge to be outside the box. Participants, good luck today. Go outside the box and let's keep in touch. Thank you.
So, nervous? It's always the wrong question. Of course they're not nervous. They've practiced so much already the last few days. A lot of practice in trying to do a pitch. So we started out, as one of the supervisors helping them out. First they started to tell the story, the main idea. Okay, that takes a few minutes, obviously. Everyone could see that. Have some ideas to steal from the other group. But that in the end turns out to, okay, it will turn into an individual pitch. And it will actually turn into a contest by now. And as it is a contest, we also have members of the jury over here that will, in the end, judge you on several criteria. So one of the is what Johan already mentioned, out of the box. But there's more criteria. It's not just only out of the box. It's the innovativeness of the idea. And also, is it socially feasible? Is it technically feasible? Is it beneficial, profitable, or something like that? So we have 5 criteria on which the jury will score you. And it's not only the pitch. So it's the combination of both the pitch and the posters that are over there. You also made a report for the case owner. And you have to convince not only the jury, obviously, but also your case owners, everyone else in the audience, that your idea is going to be the winning idea. We're not going to tell directly. So after everyone has pitched, then we'll have a discussion with the jury. And then at some point, somewhere in the end of the afternoon, then we'll let you know who is going to be the winner. But for now, as Johan says, good luck. Good luck in pitching. Let's see, I have this virtual dice here. Yes. before that. Yes, that's actually a good idea. Yeah, that's actually a good idea. We've made a movie.
Aan de Amsterdamse grachten heb ik heel mijn hart voor altijd verpand. Amsterdam vult mijn gedachten als de mooiste stad in ons land.
I want to ride my bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it where I like. Watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high, watermelon sugar high. But the water's different, I cannot complain. I get everything I need, effortlessly. For some it flows, for some it drips, but most of us get none of it. To those in need of only a little sip. Whoa, I'd cry a river just for you, so you can feed your children too. If all of us would give a little bit, hey, why don't we share sweet, sweet wonder? What if the thirsty one was your own son or daughter? Why don't we care a little longer? We only worry for a day, stop to buy. Sweet, sweet wonder. Sweet, sweet wonder. Shining on sweet wonder. Sweet, sweet running through my mind like a hurricane, calling out your name in the heavy rain, blowing through my mind like a hurricane. I'm losing my faith in the heavy Can we rewrite the stars? Say that the world can be ours tonight. All I want is to fly with you. All I want is to fall with you. So just give me all of you. It feels impossible. Is it impossible? Say that it's possible. How can we rewrite the stars? Say you were made to be mine. Nothing can keep us apart. 'Cause you are the one I was meant to find. It's up to you and it's up to me. And no one can say what we get to be. So why don't we rewrite the stars? Changing the world to be us.
Oh yes. Okay, thank you so much. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, and thank you once more to everyone for joining. My name is Odwan Sikamtembu. I'm one of the supervisors that were responsible for these amazing participants that we had this year. I'm from South Africa, and it's great to be back here to have live events again. But I think one thing that everyone picked up from the video was that we actually had participants who were joining online. And those were 3 participants from South Africa who unfortunately could not join us, but were still very much active during this entire competition. So now we are about to do the fun stuff. Well, at least for me, because I'm not pitching. But for my teams, just for you to quickly see where the teams are, we have the first team over there. Just quickly wave. The second team, and then the third team is sitting over here. These people have spent so much time over the past few days doing quite amazing work for the competition. Just to quickly remind you again, as my colleague mentioned, these teams are not only going to be judged based on the pitch they are doing today, but obviously that is going to be judged, the quality of the pitch, which by the way has to be done within 2 minutes, not even 1 second over, because I'm very strict about that part. They'll also be judged on the quality of their posters, which the educators have seen, and also even after the pitches, we're also all gonna go, the posters are right over there, 3 really beautiful posters. But in terms of the competition itself, the jury, which I will introduce very soon, will be looking at the innovation aspect of this solution, which is the out-of-the-box idea that Mr. Hus talked about, into the technical feasibility of the solution, because at the end of the day, we need to make sure that what you are proposing, is it even feasible or not? Thirdly, the sustainability aspect of it and the economic attractiveness of it. Because at the end of the day, if I'm looking at Mr. Peter over there, that's where I'm sure he's going to be very much focused on to see, is it sustainable and is there anything that's worth it for me as a company? And obviously, we are living in a world where everything is very much integrated. So therefore, we need to look at the social and the environmental context of their solutions. But one thing I can definitely assure you is that they will tick all those boxes, but it's a matter of which one will the jury put as number 1. And before we get there, obviously we want to shout out a special thank you to all our partners and sponsors for the Wetskills, and obviously the case owners, which I will also mention briefly when I explain the different cases. We would not be able to have the Wetskills competition this year or in any other years, basically all over the world, without some of the sponsors that we get per specific hosting country. So now I want to quickly allow my jury, which I'm going to start the pitching exercise with the jury, where they must introduce themselves within 30 seconds. So they must choose very carefully what is that one thing that they want to make sure the audience remembers when they introduce themselves. So I will start over there.
Utrecht Delft University, mainly busy with resource recovery and microbial ecology.
Perfect. Well, I guess the participants know how it's done. They are showing you how to do it.
Well, I'm not the person written there. My name is wrong. My name is Lykke Leonardsen. I'm from the city of Copenhagen. So you can remember, I'm not the person up there.
Thank you.
Great stuff. I'm Lucy Hunt from the Ocean Race, and I know a little bit about thinking outside the box because I've been faced with a great white shark outside of the box. So those photos outside the box, South Africa.
Thank you. And Nestle?
Annesley Krez, afternoon everybody. I've worked in innovation in Cape Town and now I'm working in innovation in the UK for Anglian Water. Just to say, I've been in your position. I was a Wetskiller 2 years ago and I drew the short straw to pitch first. So I feel you, but you've got this and you've worked really hard. So good luck.
Thank you. And last jury
Hi,
member.
my name is Ahmad Bousaidi from Oman, Stankawas University. I'm working with water resources and agriculture information. So I'll be happy to see your pitch and nice to see you.
Okay. Thank you so much. We have a truly amazing jury panel here. Thank you so much for availing yourselves and to be here to listen to these 3 amazing ideas from the teams. So, I will quickly explain to the teams because now we are really where you can be the ones to be here. So we have 3 teams which we will come up randomly. I do have 3 numbers here. The number you choose is the number that you will go. But they will come here, the entire team, and then the pitcher must introduce themselves and state that they are the pitcher, and then the rest of the team, you only have to just mention your name and the country coming from, and then you're just gonna stand here on the side while your pitcher over there pitches, and then you come back here with the pitcher to get questions from the jury, which the jury will be asking questions in a time allocated of 7 minutes maximum. Which obviously, if they no longer have any questions and it happens that they only ask 2 questions, well, we are the lucky ones, then you get off stage. But all we are doing is to limit their question based on 7 minutes slots. Is that clear to the participants, to my amazing jury, and obviously to the rest of the jury in the house, which is the audience? Okay, cool. Can my 3 pitchers just quickly come choose a number here, which will determine who's going? What's the third one? Okay, you're getting the last one. Okay, whoever has number 1, please come up. It's always a nice, fun part. Who's going first? I can help you see the numbers. I wrote them. Okay, please, team credits. Okay, so as they are coming up, so this team is the team that we are calling Team Credits. They were working on a case from Water Authority Limburg, which was a case looking at how can water credits reduce global water footprint.
Hello, my name is Karabo and I will be the pitcher for today. I am from South Africa and I'm currently a student at the University of the Witwatersrand.
Hello, my name is Lamia Jabri. I work as a junior environmental specialist at Sohar Industrial Boat Company. I'm from Oman.
Hello, my name is Miruna Iliesh. I'm from Romania and I've just finished my studies in chemical engineering and I'm looking forward to learn more about water, which I did in these 2 weeks, by the way.
Hello everyone, I'm Yudi, I'm from China and I'm studying here for almost 1 year. I'm from Wetskills.
Oh, I must tell you. Okay. Coffee enthusiasts will agree with me that people tend to think that a great idea starts with a great brainstorming session. But let's be honest, great ideas always start with the biggest cup of coffee ever. Many of us do not function without coffee. And the problem that we're facing now is that we have a lot of coffee use in water industries, and they end up letting us have a water crisis and water shortage. Now, to counteract this problem, we want to propose a standard that will ensure or encourage sustainable water use. We call it a wet cred accreditation. The standard will be based off of a water footprint concept where companies will be graded based on compliance, with the most compliant company being regarded as grade A and the least compliant as grade F. Companies would then pay to use this accreditation, and the 40% of that amount of money will be used towards blue-green projects. Now, every year, these companies will be audited. Now, if the companies are non-compliant, they immediately get downgraded to a grade F, and they also get fined and get to the money that they fined with goes again to blue-green projects. You're going to ask me, how can this be implemented? The easiest way to implement it is in 3 steps. The first step is a testing period. The second step is commitment. And lastly, through implementation, hopefully by 2030. Now, these initiatives are important in making sure that we value and conserve our natural resources, but they're also very important in making sure that you all have that cup of coffee that's going to help you through the day. Thank you.
Thank you to Team 3. If you can now come a little closer. Yeah? Okay, great. Thank you so much. So now I will start my 7 minutes and ask if a jury member that has a question. Yeah?
Well done. Thank you for that nice presentation, as clear and enthusiastic. What kind of criteria that I should follow to then you can say I'm in grade A or grade F? What's the kind of criteria I should follow?
So the criteria will be based off of. Oh, can I take the question first? I should ask. Is it okay? Okay. The criteria will be based off of your water footprint. At the moment, we're trying to figure out, or if we end up with the project, it's difficult to look at it only on water consumption or water pollution. So we're trying to see if a company can optimize their water use in, let's say, every year they're reducing or optimizing their water footprint, they will then get graded according to that. So a grade A would be maybe if you've optimized 70 to 80%, and then grade B would be, I think we said 60. It's all there. It's graded according to optimization more than anything.
Any other question from the jury? Yeah.
Well, thank you for a great presentation. My question is, I mean, you mentioned in your pitch the companies. What about private households? Can they also be maybe over time a part of this?
Well, we first looked into companies because we thought that companies consume much more than a private household. Like, we found some information that, for example, for a simple meal, to make many of them, it's like 7 times than a household would consume. So we just firstly focused on this, but who knows?
So you talked about punitive measures being financial, but if it's a small or medium enterprise that doesn't have high capital, is there other ways that they can pay into that blue-green project stimulation, so not necessarily financial?
We didn't consider that, but it's actually a good thing to consider in terms of how would companies who want to be compliant but can't afford it, but perhaps those companies who want to be compliant would actually be part of the blue-green project. So maybe it's a company that needs the funding towards that. So maybe that's where that money will go to. Yeah.
And just leading on from that question, and great presentation, by the way, could measures like rain harvesting or reusing green or grey water be thought of as credits towards that? Is that something you considered at all?
Yes. So sorry, I keep answering, but the idea was that we wanted to get something similar to the carbon credit system, but everybody knows how flawed that is at the moment with the trading. So the idea was that if you use water well, or if you optimize your water use, you will then be graded upwards. That's the idea. The grading is what's going to be how you get to the next grade or below the grade. And based off of that, we wanted to be sort of put in government and like your ISO, something like your ISO criteria where people know what it is, it has awareness, and it speaks to the image of your company.
Nice presentation and speech indeed. You make a reference to the carbon system. Now, the carbon system is more or less a global issue with climate change, which is globally occurring. But if you look to water issues, they are much more regional. Are you foreseeing one credit system for the whole world, or would you deal with it that if I do use water in Canada, the impact would be very different than when I would use water in Mexico?
So the idea was to have categories and start off with industry. And then eventually, if it works in the testing period with industries within a certain region or a certain area, we try to expand it into a global standard. Anyone want to add anything?
Yes, we just come out like apply it, and if the apply is success, and we will promote our mode and to the world.
And in the testing period, we will also talk to the industries and see how much they consume and what do they expect, and we can tell them what we also expect, and yeah.
Just to challenge you a bit, an industry which sits here in Amsterdam might tell you, well, Amsterdam Water Board is continuously pumping fresh water out in the sea. So why should I minimize my water consumption?
I can
So
also.
what do you do with that company, because they obviously don't want to behave to your credit system?
The idea is to also have governments become responsible. We want it to happen. It's not just companies. We're just giving it a test run with commercialization. But the idea is eventually it needs to be part of governance and part of policy, where even the municipalities or the water authorities themselves look at their water use.
Maybe a last question, because you more or less talked about punishment. Now, if you want to achieve something, you can either use a stick or a carrot. Did you evaluate how to use a carrot instead of a stick?
So, which would be the reward?
Hmm?
Which would be?
Well,
Benefits.
That's benefits, yes.
For the company or for having the standard?
Well, you can try to punish someone if they use too much water, or benefit people if they save on their water.
Okay. Am I supposed to answer? I'm talking too much.
Well, one thing that it's like really in trend, especially in 2021, I'm sorry, is that we like to use labels like, for example, hashtag environmental, helping the environmental, or just environmental friendly. And I think that's something that companies would really like to have on their products, as in to label their products that they are I'm sorry, that they are environmental friendly. And it's not only helpful for the companies, it can also help the environment. Like, we are thinking of constructing back some lakes from other countries, like, you know, that they lost their dimensions, and we are intentioning to put in to fill them more with water.
Okay, thank you. Do you wanted to add something, or okay? Okay, you saved by the time. There are 7 minutes is now over. So thank you so much to team number 3, which went up as team number 1. Yeah, don't worry, it always happens. In 2018, I was in team number 4, but things happened that Peter and Johan made me go first in their dice. So don't worry, it always happens. So now next up is who had number 2? Yes. Okay, as they are coming up, this team had a case from the Blue Deal program by the Dutch water authorities, and their issue was to look at how can the various Blue Deal partnerships in the different countries learn from each other.
Yes, well, hello, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Giovanni. I will be the pitcher today for you. I work for HNK, which is one of the Dutch water authorities, and this is my team.
Good afternoon for everyone. I am Luail Atrash from Palestine, work with World WaterNet as a local project leader in Palestine. Nice to meet you all.
Hi everyone, my name is Judy and I'm from Taiwan. And I'm a graduate student and major is civil engineering and hydraulic engineering. It's nice to see you. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Ruqayya Hamad Shibli. I'm from Oman, graduated from Sultan Qaboos University. I'm currently working in the International Quality Labs.
Nice, thanks. Will it start when I start? All right. Imagine a world where you had to invent everything yourself. No sharing of information, no walking on others' ideas, just doing everything on your own. It will be utterly terrible. There will be no technological innovation, no medicine, and no progress. In other words, sharing of information and learning from each other is crucial for development. And yet, this is one of the biggest struggles within the Blue Deal partnership. a partnership between the Dutch government and 14 partner countries with the aim of giving access to clean water to 20 million people by 2030. Within the Blue Deal, learning from each other is almost non-existent. We contacted the partners and we asked them what the biggest struggles were, and they said to us, time restraint or not knowing who to call. The Blue Deal doesn't have an address list, it doesn't even have a website. So we came up with the idea of building a platform, a shielded platform that will give you the opportunity to find people quickly and to learn from each other very quickly. We believe that this will enhance the quality and the information sharing of each of the projects, which will benefit not only the Blue Deal partnership itself, but every country individually as well. It will have an enhanced GIS map, contact details of all the partners, and trainings. In addition, we will organize every 2 years an innovation competition of which the best 3 ideas will be presented during an international global water conference, whilst also having yearly field trips to the countries themselves to improve and enhance cooperation and sharing of knowledge. We believe this will help every partner individually, and it will also be sustainable because after 2030, when the Blue Deal ends, we will have paid partnerships together with third parties. Innovation doesn't have to be complicated. Sometimes out-of-the-box reasoning is very much seeking it at home. Thank you. Just in time, mate.
Okay, thank you so much. Please all come
Questions?
forward and ask if there's a jury member with the question. And your 7 minutes starts now.
Okay, thank you. Well, try to use the same exact 7 minutes maybe. You talked about setting up a platform, a shielded platform.
Yes.
Did you evaluate to use, say, existing platforms for the information exchange and have it as an open platform?
Can I answer it? Okay. We used intranet as an example. I don't know if everyone's familiar with intranet, but the reason why we chose to go for a shielded platform is because we talked and we contacted the partners, the countries themselves. We called them, we emailed them, and they said, especially if you want to have an address list and know who to call, they really want it to be shielded. So that's the reason why we decided to not use an already existing platform, but to create one specially only for Blue Deal, because we have many other features as well on it. You can check it on the poster later in the back of the room. But that's the reason why we chose to make it shielded, for privacy reasons of the countries and to have more features as well.
And you have done an open part in it, or it's completely shielded?
In the beginning, it's completely shielded to improve and enhance the cooperation and the sharing of knowledge. Later on, especially for the sustainability part after 2030, when the Blue Deal ends, it's going to be open in cooperation and in overleg, I don't know the English word for it, with the partner countries to have paid partnerships with third parties. That's how we want to make it sustainable. Yeah, would you like to add? Okay.
And we already, this platform, it's combined the Dutch expert and the local participants from all 14 countries. So already this platform will have a big amount of, or big number of participants will be there. All of them will share this knowledge together. So we not focus just for the Dutch expert. We also aim to target the local.
Would you have some examples of what kind of information you would like to share through that platform?
Yeah, indeed, it's a lot of things we will share. First of all, we have an attractive GIS map. You can easily reach to the other countries by this map. For example, I am working in South Africa in water management, and you need to go to the another country directly by layers in the GIS map. You can directly go and see what they did. A lot of things. We have a training course. We have reports. We have an annual plan. We have an innovation competition in this platform. Yeah.
In order to have such a platform being really useful, it needs actually quite a lot of maintenance to be up to date, both on people and on the data that's on it. And that's quite resource demanding in doing that. Have you had any thoughts on how to do that? And who's going to pay?
Well, that's actually a good question. We definitely have considered that. And especially with the activity, so the innovation competition and things like that, yearly trips, that will be let's say, influx of information about the projects and things alike on the platform itself. That's how it will be running and how it will be active and how people will be drawn towards the platform. Considering the financial question, we've talked about that. And we've talked about this with several partners, and in general, making a platform, we already made a prototype in 10 days. It's not that difficult, to be honest, and in terms of money, it doesn't really take a lot of money to maintain it. And the partners even said to us, like, there's definitely going to be money if this is a good idea. So we've asked them, is this feasible? And they said yes. Does that answer your question? Okay, nice.
Almost similar questions. I mean, maybe some countries have missing data, so how to overcome this kind of difficulties for that countries and how to get the data from them.
So can you elaborate on what you mean by data?
Because some countries don't have all information that you're looking for.
Yeah.
So in your case, how to get all those information from them?
Yes, good question, first of all. The thing now is that there's different countries with different projects, and the main problem is that these countries have insights and knowledge, but they're not talking to each other, they're not learning from each other. As Loy already explained, on the GIS map we have categories, for example floods or drought, so you can quickly see on the map like which country is useful for me to contact, because it really helps me with my own problem. Of course, taking into account different political contexts, cultural contexts, but this will always be the case. So that in the background, in your head, you can still see which countries are useful, and that's the main part now. And data can always be added, but for now the most important thing is to find the people and to find the countries that are similar to you and that you can help and share knowledge and learn from each other. Does that, yeah, nice.
We just have a minute and a half left, Jury. Any? Okay.
Thank you. So sort of a follow-on, actually. So in terms of knowledge sharing as a start, but I think the more important point would be actually turning that into action,
yeah,
and seeing a country then deliver on a priority that they're looking at, whether it be flooding or drought or pollutions, etc.
Yeah.
What's your plan there in terms of taking just knowledge sharing into action? And how are there sort of tools or templates that the countries would be able to use to start that journey? So moving beyond just talking,
yeah,
and actually into action.
Yeah. Do you guys want to answer? Okay. A good question. The answer to that question is, the question is there a template? Now there's no template. There's no communication, there's no learning, sharing of learning experience, so there's nothing. Even though this is an obstacle, it's also an opportunity. In the sense that, especially with the innovation competition, the yearly field trips, it really is a way of connecting the people, and that's also one of the things that will come out of those innovation competition. Like, what should be a template for us as Blue Deal? What should we have multiple templates for other situations? So as of now, unfortunately, because there's no platform, there's no templates. But as soon as there's the platform, there will be templates. Yes. You want to add, or? Okay.
Okay. Oh no, saved by the time. Well, see, you can't hate me. I saved you there. Okay, thank you so much
Thank you.
For your presentation. Yeah, when I said I'm strict with time, it also included the jury. So last but not least, it's team number 1 who are coming as team number 3. Lucky you. Okay, as they were coming, they were working on a case from the Water Authority, DOD, where they were trying to develop a future-proof water system, specifically looking at how to handle heavy rainfall. So, over to you.
So, hello everyone. I'll be the pitcher for my team. I am from Oman. My name is Kawthar Al-Baluchi, Junior Environmental Specialist working in Sohar Port and Free Zone Company.
Hello, my name is Nina. I am a master student in River Delta Development in the Netherlands.
Hello everyone, my name is Hayam. I am from Oman. I work as water analysis in the International Quality Lab.
Hello, my name is Ionela Ion. I'm from Romania and I study environmental engineering.
So, when I mentioned the term heavy rainfall, dancing in the rain movie might come in some people's mind. Others would think of flooded streets, damaged assets, and overflowing sewage. In fact, if it happens, models have shown that more than or up to 20% of this entire country is at risk of being submerged for more than 5 centimeters. The Netherlands challenge is not only finding technical solution, but also filling the gap between the community and the decision makers. So we as a team proposed 3 technical solutions to be implemented in urban, agricultural, and future development areas. And those are the balloon barrier, the inflatable balloon barrier, the artificial dunes, and the underground tunnels. So what about the social solution? We have got of an idea to implement an app or to design an app that can be work as a linking tool between the community and the decision makers. So the main objective of this application is to involve the community in protecting their own landscapes, and also to encourage them or to raise the awareness of having or increase raise the awareness of the risk of having floods. And not only that, but also in getting their feedback in the proposed solutions. So we believe that by involving the community in the decision-making process, they can become more resilient in extreme weather events. So instead of staying away and being afraid of heavy rainfall, we encourage the people to dance in the rain.
Thank you. Thank you for that. And I will now ask my juries if they have any questions.
Well, thank you for pitch. Maybe 2 questions. One, you mentioned underground tunnels. How will that help in this heavy rain?
Yeah, can I answer this question? So the underground tunnels is proposed to be for the future development areas. So we take in consideration that the current area might be have a full infrastructure. And by the underground tunnels, we take an example of Tokyo, that they already have huge underground tunnels that can store the stormwater.
But these tunnels are now metro lines, or?
Well, as Qatar mentioned, in the Netherlands we are planning to build an additional 1 million houses in the next decades. And we suggest that instead of having merely an on surface volume, we also propose a volume under the ground, where the rainwater is collected and it can be used also for household purposes.
So also storage facilities?
Yes.
Then, because underground tunnels sounded to me a bit as a sewer system.
No, I understand that you are confused by the term tunnels, but it's merely a underground retention basin.
Reservoirs. Okay. And the other part is, how do you, because you propose to have an app so that people can see what the risk is, or how do you really see the interaction between the information you give on the app and how people you think will respond or can respond, because they cannot influence anyway how the clouds are moving, can respond to heavy rain?
So I am not sure if you're familiar with the NK tegelwippen. This is a challenge in the Netherlands where people are encouraged to lift out the tiles from their surroundings. So the app can also be used as a kind of map where you can see what your neighbor is doing to prevent rainwater damage or flood damage. For example, installing a green roof or a rainwater garden. So the map allows you to interact with your neighbors in that way, see what everyone is doing. And because we know the Dutch are quite up for a challenge, quite a competitive people, so that's why we implemented also the challenge parts where the cities can like compete against each other.
Thank you. You said you're going to get the feedback from the citizen that if there's someone who said I'm in a high risk, my house will be sinking under the water. So what kind of action you'll do as a government? Replace his land, house, or make a tunnel in his? What kind of action you'll do?
We meant that by giving their feedback means when, for example, there are several solutions that can be implemented in a certain area, instead of only implement the solution based on decision maker opinion, we can involve the community by this app that these solutions can be within this app, so they can vote or they can have like the high ranking solution that they agree on, and in this way we can have a combination between the decision makers and the community, not only the decision makers in this case.
Thank you. I was wondering when I was listening, I mean, you had these technical solutions. They seem sort of rather scattered around. And I was wondering, I mean, if you're talking about new urban developments, why not think about a more holistic approach to this? Have you considered this as part of your work?
Yes, so indeed we came across many existing solutions already, and they are installed quite separate from each other. So we have considered, like, beside product innovation, also system innovation, where you get a kind of cascade system with all the separate solutions better interlinked with each other. And that is where the app also has a role, because if you can see what your neighbor has done, then you can be encouraged to also combine it with your own methods or your own intervention. So it would be more on a community scale or a local scale, where you can connect the different applications and solutions.
Thanks, nice presentation. So just around the app again and the public participation, would it also act as a warning system for the public and around bathing water quality and floods? Yeah.
Yeah, of course the app will consider some features like warning letters or messages, and also will include the competition if there's any volunteering work that they can do in case of any floods, for example. And so we can build a strong community working together. And yeah. Do you want to add something?
In charge of the app, who's managing the app, and how is it being financed?
Well, the app is owned primarily by the authorities, local authorities. It functions as a database as well. So that is, for example, it can be a way to see how people respond to certain plans for maybe a renovated street, a rainwater retention street, for example. So in that way, it is owned by authorities, but well, there is many opportunities for interaction by local communities.
Thank you. Well, I also saved you as well, because they only had 5 seconds left, which I don't think would be possible for them to ask you something. So thank you so much to the team. Yeah, you can give me that. Okay. Okay, thank you so much again to all the three teams. Like I said to everyone earlier on, that they really worked hard on the solutions and to come up with these amazing ideas. So right now I will allow the jury, but they're going to meet up to deliberate. But before we do that, Mr. Johannes wants to share some few words.
I have one interruption because, well, the Wetskills Foundation, I already mentioned the team, but I also want to mention the board. Monique, Peter, and Jantine, they are now, here. Marco Schouten unfortunately could not make it, but Jantine is going to leave us. So yeah, I bought something for you. So Jantine, please come to the stage. Yeah, I also. I know that you like this face. Jantien, yeah, we know each other already for 7 years or so, 8 years. We organized 3 events in North America. And after that you came back here and you start to become a board member. Maybe you can share some experiences shortly with us.
Yes. Well, thank you very much for this very nice gift, firstly. And I am very honored that I was asked to become a board member of Wetskills 3 years ago. And I have enjoyed it very much. And during that time, I organized 2 Wetskills events in the Netherlands. And I always enjoy watching a team grow and dive into their challenge and come up with something new and something that we didn't think of, we as established people in the water sector. So every time I am at a Wetskills event, I really enjoy watching you pitch here. I know how difficult that is, but it's always very nice. So I enjoyed being in your board, and you have a great board, so I'm pretty sure you will go on with Wetskills for several more years. And I will always be there to organize one.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Jantien. Big applause. Otwa, for you, the final words.
Yes, thank you so much for that. So we will not be revealing the winner yet. So to hear who won this challenge, Wetskills Challenge this year, please join us at the networking drinks around 6:15, which will be also still be here at the Future is Water Symposium. So that's where you'll get to hear which of the 3 teams became number 1. But I want to emphasize that you are all winners because all your ideas were truly amazing and the case owners all loved them, and they're all going to be implemented that we're going to be pushing with what we call What's Next. But at the end of the day, we need to have that one person that the jury can say they can take the first spot. But what I want to quickly do is to randomly pick on you, to just give you 1 minute, not to obviously go into a specific feedback as a jury member, but just briefly your quick 1 minute reaction to the amazing innovations that you've just had today, but obviously not mentioning anything on your paper. Yeah, just a 1 minute reaction to you as to the innovations that you had today.
Up here, or yeah. Okay. I will. Yeah, great stuff. No, it's really great to see like minds coming together and coming up with really good ideas, and just seeing the innovativeness behind it. I think working in that short phase of time really makes you think hard as well and out of the box too. So well done. I know it can be nerve-wracking as well. I know some people were very nervous coming up, so well done as well. But yeah, I think it's these sort of ideas when people do come together, as Johan was saying, and coming from all different backgrounds and all different experience, that helps a lot as well with the innovations. So well done. There we go.
Okay, thank you so much. So the jury can meet with
Thank you. I would like to thank you for being the audience, and we're looking forward to the final decision of the jury. I also would like to invite you to the Futures Water program. That is from 4 to 6, and later on we have the award winning. But if you like to stay this afternoon from 4 to 6, please be welcome. And if you want to go on the Aquatech, it's also okay. And then we'll see you back at 6:30, quarter to 6. Then we have the awards and the drinks. So hope to see you. I hope you stay and have fun.
Thank you, Monique. The most important thing, please also get people to come, because guess what? The winning team will pitch again. So you can bring someone else to come hear that amazing idea, especially that we know we have lots of experts in the room, so you know who is not here that might want to actually hear one of the solutions. So the winner will pitch again when we announce the winner. Thank you so much once more. The jury can go deliberate. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Sorry just to disturb you for a few 5 minutes. We have quite an exciting thing about to happen for young professionals. And trust me, it's something that you do not want to miss. My name is Odwan Tsikamtemu from Wetskills Foundation here in the Netherlands, but I'm based in South Africa, Johannesburg. Wetskills is a program that uses an out-of-a-box approach where professionals spend 2 weeks working in a very pressured to come up with innovative solutions based on different topics on water, energy, and the food nexus. This year, for the past 2 weeks, we had a group of 15 young professionals, 12 here and 3 joining online from different parts of the world, working to come with solutions from partnership to how to maintain the rainfall, and also if whether water credits or not can help to reduce the global water footprint. So earlier on, for some of you who might have been around, we had a very exciting competition where the teams had 2 minutes to pitch their solution. And after that, a very hot seat of 7 minutes with the jury. And lastly, to present and give, to defend their poster with the jury. So tonight, we will be announcing who the winner is. But before we do that, I will allow one of the jury members, Anelsa Kripp, to give a quick feedback on how that session went with the teams. Over to you.
Thank you, Adwa. Oh, is this on? Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Again, apologies for disturbing your drinks, but I think we do really have an exciting opportunity to actually hear one of the pitches. So the winning pitch will pitch again, and you'll all be invited to hear that brilliant solution that they've come up with. So earlier this evening, we had a panel of judges, and we were given a set of criteria to obviously understand the technical feasibility of the solution, the economic feasibility of the solution, the environmental impact that it would have, and then above that also we were judging the delivery of the pitch. They had a 2-minute pitch and their posters as well. And I invite you to go and obviously read their posters. You can learn about all the teams. If I can echo what Adwa said earlier as well, you are all winners. You really were. You were absolutely fantastic. The pitches were delivered on point. No one went over time. Essentially, I think be very, very, very proud of yourselves, and obviously all the hard work you've done has really paid off. But we do have to have a winner, and so the judges have decided.
Just before she announces who the winner is, can I have the 3 teams to see where they are so that we can be able to quickly capture your reaction to that? So after she announces the winning team has to come upstage to be with that amazing placard, get their prizes, and then from that, you're going to take a quick picture. And then after that, the pitcher will have to pitch again, right? So please, the excitement must not make you forget that part. So over to you.
Thanks, Adwa. Okay, so just very quickly, a bit of why we thought this team was the winning team. So the judges really kind of thought the pitch was great, but it was quite high level. And when we got to the poster, that was what really won us over. Essentially, the detail of the solution they were proposing really came out in the poster, and obviously the implementation of how they would actually deliver the solution really came out in the poster. On top of that, we really felt that they addressed the key challenge up front, and they were truly innovative. They really thought outside the box on this one. Finally, we thought that the solution had a global impact in terms of societal and environmental gains, and therefore, drum roll, the winning team for Wetskills 2021 is Team Water Credits.
Quickly run up, come. Or have you forgotten who's water credit? Okay, over there for a quick picture. Your prizes, Marcel. There are prizes. Case owner, who by the way made sure that you will stay to say whether you've won or not, you are my winner to me. He's a very happy case owner. Please come join your team on stage. Yeah, they can finalize it later. Just give them for now. Okay, I think they're done. So we shall now allow the picture to show us why they won. To remind people who were not around, this team was working on a case from Water Authority Limburg where they had to actually look into how water credits can be used to reduce the global water footprint. So over to you.
There's definitely more people. Okay. Coffee enthusiasts will agree with me when I say that great ideas start with a good brainstorming session. But amazing ideas start with a big cup of coffee. Now, imagine one day waking up and you're not able to have that cup of coffee because of a water crisis or water shortage. The problem that we're facing now is that the problem that we're facing now is that water industries or industry is using more water and not being held accountable for that water usage. Now, the solution that we propose is called a water accreditation concept based on a water footprint concept where companies will be graded according to the most compliant to the least compliant companies. A company that is most compliant will have a grade A rating and a company that is least compliant would have a grade F rating. Now, the companies to use this accreditation would be required to pay a fee, and from the fee, 40% of that will go to blue-green projects. Now, if a company is not compliant after a year of auditing, that company will then be downgraded to a grade F and also have to pay towards a blue-green project. Now, the implementation of this project will happen in 3 phases. The first phase would be the testing period, second period would be commitment, and the third period would be full implementation in 2030. Initiatives like this really make a difference in preserving natural resources. But most importantly, they ensure that we have a cup of coffee every day. Thank you.
Thank you so much and congratulations once more. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us for this awarding part. They are still around. You can still engage with them, but chances are they're going to be involving some few glasses of coffee and equivalent. But you can still engage with them. Their posters are still up there. You can still also check them out and do enjoy the evening. And thank you once more.